One of the most popular blog posts on Darryl's website, icecreamprivatelabel.com, is his post about starting a liquid nitrogen ice cream shop. Today, Darryl's going to talk about some of the pros and cons of opening a liquid nitrogen ice cream shop as opposed to opening a traditional ice cream shop. Make sure you tune in till the end of the video because Darryl explains some really interesting points about the con side of opening a liquid nitrogen ice cream shop, and how you can manage some of the cons and make them be not so bad at all. If you want to learn more about what we do, check us out at thethcfoodie.com or icecreamprivatelabel.com. There are a couple of key points that are different between opening a liquid nitrogen shop and opening a traditional ice cream parlor. Can you kind of talk us through some of that?
We can talk about the pros and cons of both. So the square footage of these stores can be the same, location can be the same. So all of those, I would say the amount of staff, you might need one more person in a liquid nitrogen shop, so there might be a little more labor costs. But, you know, when we talk about the advantages of it, one of the things, it's a just-in-time product. So in a traditional ice cream shop, you need to buy hundreds of dollars of inventory of product, put it in the back freezer, and then as your dipping cabinet needs replacement, you pull them out from the back. So there's a handling cost. I could say with the average ice cream shop, you could be looking at carrying costs of $500 to $1,500. So with liquid nitrogen, the products are made right in front and they're served right after they're made. Some of the pros is the inventory reduction cost, little to no freezer space that's needed, so there's some savings on equipment. All the products are custom made, so in a traditional shop, if you have 36 flavors, then the only thing that changes is the combination of flavors you're scooping together or toppings that you're putting on it. With this, you could literally have hundreds of varieties to choose from because they all start out from a liquid base. So everything is custom made, the ability to order numerous and creative flavors, so that's kind of unique. So we're not confined to what's in the display case. And the other and major thing is it's a great showpiece. You know, people get attracted by this. They walk by the door and they see all this vapor smoke. So it draws them inside. And we've talked about it before that what's going to bring them back was the customer service, the product quality, and the overall experience. So they can smoke all they want, but at the end of the day, it's how good was the product and the service experience. On the con side, the equipment costs are a little bit higher. You have to buy a liquid nitrogen system. Liquid nitrogen is a product that goes from liquid to gas. It's a negative 321 degrees, so it's very cold. So there's some safety issues, you know, maybe wear goggles. I recommend wearing gloves. It's also a cost of good factor. So this stuff, the liquid nitrogen needs to be moderated in. Otherwise, you're caught because it's a very expensive product. So if by design it requires 2 to 3 ounces, then you got to make sure that every time you're putting in 2 to 3 ounces. If you start putting in 5 or 6, it's going to throw your food cost off. The other thing is, unless you have some boards that identify the process, there's a lot of conversation with the person stepping up to the counter. We're liquid nitrogen, the product's 300 minus 321, and we want you to pick this, and then we want you to add that, and then we do this marvelous thing over here, and it gets very time-consuming, and the lines back up. So there's a little bit more of a learning curve that can be fixed by having an informational board while they're standing in line. The other thing that, with lack of training, the customer can wait a little bit longer for a liquid nitrogen product as opposed to just scoop and serve and pay. So everything else, I would say, stays equal. The investment might be a little bit more for liquid nitrogen. Maybe it's a trade-off because there's some equipment, like I said, you do not need. But it's a good business as an up-and-coming category. So if you're thinking about liquid nitrogen ice cream shop, then, you know, people give me a call and we'll talk about investment, timeline, location, and those kind of things.